My fellow African brothers and sisters. Today again I have come with another message. Today I have come with a message again because we as Africans have been doing for a very long time things that are not going to help Africa as a continent and the black as a race. For a very long time, we have always, ascribed our problems to the West, to others. We believe that the malaise which we are facing in Africa, the underdeveloped nature of Africa, is attributed to the West. Their policies towards Africa, we think that is what is keeping Africa the way Africa is. But let's not forget, the West, just like they are doing business in Africa, they are equally doing business in Asia and in the Middle East. But if we observe the impact of their business dealings in these other places, like in Asia and in the Middle East, with what is happening in Africa, you find a very big contrast. So again, how can we still sit and think all the time that those who are supposed to change the way they are dealing with Africa, with us, are the West and not us? Because let's look at it this way. The West, for a very long time, again, we have been pointing fingers at them. We keep pointing fingers at them repeatedly, but nothing is changing. And we still haven't figured out that the problem is not the West. See, to me, the problem is not the West. Africa is what it is today. It's not because of what the West are doing to us today. No, they might have influenced, retarded the growth of Africa. They might have been doing that. But they are only succeeding in doing so because of us, we as Africans. We are the ones who have been assisting them. We have been aiding them in that process. And we still think it is their problem or it's their fault. No. It can never be their fault. Almost all the business dealings between Africa and the West, or Africa and Asia. Okay, formally, let's put it this way. Formally, it was between Africa and the West. Asia just came in not long ago. Yeah, Asia just came in not long ago. The Western world, they are the ones who have been doing business with Africa. And for a very long time, we kept on saying that these business dealings were too detrimental for Africans. They had never favored Africans in any way. They only favored the West. Okay, then the Asians too came in, the Chinese too came in. Look at the Chinese. Observe equally their own business dealing in Africa. Look at the position. Africa is always in the bad side of it. We don't always get a good bargain from all these business dealings. It was with the West, now the Asians too have come in. Africa is still not getting a better part of the deal. And we still can think that something is wrong somewhere. The problem is not these guys who are coming for business in Africa. The problem is, or the problems are those we in Africa have put in place, have put in charge of our respective countries. The so-called leaders. Let's take a clearest example. Rwanda is a clearer example I can bring. Look how Rwanda has emerged in a very short space of time. See how Rwanda has transformed itself. But Rwanda is doing business with the same Western world and the Asians. But they are able to transform, they have been able to transform their country. Why? Now look at who is in charge, who is piloting their affairs. Then you will know that it is not the West that we should keep blaming all the time. We keep pointing fingers almost all the time. In fact, we forget the right target. We are hitting but the wrong target, and we expect things to change. That's why it has not changed for all this while, and it's never going to change. In as much as we keep shooting our stones, hitting the wrong target. The target cannot be the West. It cannot be the Asians or the Chinese. The target should be our African leaders, those who we have put in place to be charged of the affairs of our respective countries. These guys, see, let me tell you something. Like in a business valuation, when one company wants to acquire another company, or when two companies they want to merge, the target company will have to be, evaluated. They have to put a value on the target company. So the acquirer should know exactly what they're paying for. And now, there is one problem with business valuation. Most of the times, the acquirer will pay more money for the target, more than even the value of the target company. And this only happens. This happens when those who are in charge, those who are running the acquirer, if the merger or the purchase, if they take over, is going to benefit the management of the company that wants to acquire the other company. If it's going to benefit them more than even the shareholders of the company, what ends up is the company management will ensure that, because they are the ones to benefit more, even more than the shareholders, they will be in a position to even pay whatever the target company is asking. And when the target company, the management too, realizes that the management of the other company is the one that is going to benefit by them taking this company, not even the shareholders, they too will hang on that to make sure they can inflate the value of their company to a point where those guys are going to pay more than even what the company is valued. So let's come back to our African context. These guys, they come here to do business. What happens? They just figure out and they know that whatever business they're doing, those who stand to benefit more are those we call our leaders, the management, not the people. So because they understand that, and the people, the leaders too, they have proven times without number that it is their interest first against the interests of the people. So these guys, they will do whatever they can They'll do whatever they can to protect their own interests too, because business is all about bargain. When they come, they realize you are not even there to represent your people. Whatever business you want to do, you just look at yourself. It's what's gonna benefit you. So they make that offer, and as soon as you see it, you see your interest there is being taken care of. You don't care what comes next. You don't care what comes next. Our leaders have constantly proven that once their interest has been taken care of, the rest can die. And we sit every day we think it is the Chinese, it is the Europeans. No, it can never be them. It is our leaders. If we want change and we want meaningful change, then we should change the direction of where we are throwing those stones. We should change the target of those stones. We should focus them on the leaders. Because until we get rid of them, we always going to be in this messy situation. We're always going to be in this messy situation. Africa will not rise. Africa will not develop when we still keep these guys in charge of calling the shots. No. They are not calling the shots for me and you, for this continent. They're calling it for themselves. So they should be the target. If you get rid of them, then everything is taken care of. The Europeans, the West, they want to do business. They will come for business. And when they meet the right person, they will do business. Just like they are doing in other parts of the world. Even in Africa, Rwanda is an example. So let's wake up and start hitting the right targets. We should hit the right targets without any remorse. Because if we want this continent, if we want Africa to rise, then we have to do the right thing. And the right thing is to hit these guys, hit the right target. We are missing the target, my brothers and sisters. That's why every year is the same year in Africa. Nothing changes. Everything is the same. In fact, we instead of degrading, we're going backward. So we have to start hitting the right target. Thank you.